I'm trying to get someone signed on here, so.
Should be able to. Okay. You got to turn
How you
your
doing?
phone to sideways. Turn it up and down.
Turn upwards. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Okay. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
So
Trying to.
now that I'm kind of doing a solo interview with you, I just want you to kind of come out and introduce yourself to the audience, people, if there's anyone watching who isn't familiar with you.
Okay. My name is Daryl Hatchett. A lot of you are familiar with me. Um, I have a big management team called Management of Champions. Called Management of Champions because they are champions. Um, and we just out there just trying to do our thing, win as many belts, more championships as we possibly can get. Fighting on the big events.
Now, what year was it that you kind of first found this fighting, so to speak? Like,
Far as what, managing, training, fighting?
just your first exposure.
Oh, okay. My first exposure, I was 6 years old. My uncle took me to a movie to see, that Chinese Connection.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And from that point, I was hooked. I wanted to be a martial artist. I wanted to be that. I wanted to do that. Then as time go by, I wanted to get into competition. There was no Jeet Kune Do gyms in my area, so I had to settle for a little karate at the time, which I did real well in that. Actually, I came one of the top brown belts in the country at one point, and doing a lot of point karate and stuff like that. Then after that, I got into, say, my teen. Well, in between that, I started getting into a little trouble here and there as a teen, Actually, it took a cop to convince me to get into kickboxing because he knew I knew the martial arts and stuff. Instead of fighting on the streets, say, let's get, do something to get paid and, and win some awards for some of this stuff. And I took his advice, and it was on from that point. My trainer was, he was a great trainer, probably the best in the world. His name was Kevin McClinton, Super Kick McClinton. Our gym was called Super Kick. We had the best kickboxing gym in the area. We won all the championships. And, that was the start of that. From there, I ended up, I did a lot of kickboxing events and stuff. I was undefeated in that and won a few regional championships. After that, my trainer passed away. And I was actually, a guy, you might know his name, Shoney Carter, used to come to my gym all the time and train and spar. Mm-hmm. And actually, it was him that was kind of like, hey, you got to come over to us. Let's do some MMA. I wanted to do that, but at the time, my teacher was against that, my trainer. And I didn't do it until after, he kind of passed and the gym closed down. I said, okay, now's the time.
So you trained with Shoney?
Yes.
Yeah, great guy.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I showed him some stuff too. But, from that point on, I got into a bunch of tournaments. I won nationals, Pan Am Games, bunch of gold medals and stuff. And I was getting even better offers even after that until I sustained a serious injury, shoulder injury, and it just kind of threw me off completely. And I was at the age at that time that I needed to either be active or just give it up because my time was running out. My shoulder took years to kind of get back, so I never really got back into competing. So I figured, okay, my goal was to get to the UFC. I almost got to the Ultimate Fighter, but like I said, due to the injury, it stopped everything. So I just like, okay, well, if I can't get there, I'm gonna train some people and get there, And that's what I started doing. I started training, and I went hard. I moved to Florida, opened up a gym, and we were like winning everything from that point. I've won Trainer of the Year, and we were doing our thing. But because everybody knew me, and they saw what I was doing, a lot of people wanted to be a part of what I was doing, and that's how I got into management. Because a lot of guys, I can't train you; you're too far, but I can definitely help you out. you know, and if I was getting fights, and it just became a thing, and I started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I just started, got off into that. Promoted a few shows, which I'm gonna start doing. Gonna get back to doing. Actually, I want to start doing some bare knuckle / MMA fights, and hopefully by the summertime, I guess get that going. But other than that, yeah, I've been doing this for say about 12 years now, managing, and been doing pretty well. I got some top fighters out there. We've been winning nothing but championships. It's great.
Now, when you
Is this going to
make that
get better?
decision, like Shoney has a lot of experience, obviously. He fought all the time.
Yes. Yeah. His record, he did fought
Yeah.
more fights than what his record
Yeah.
showed. Trust me.
Did you ever ask him, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, managing or whatever? Did you ever talk to him about
No, not at that time. At that time, I had left. Before I got into the management, just came to me. It really wasn't a plan at the time. My plan was to be the trainer, the top trainer, whatever. So after I moved to Florida, I didn't have so much connection with my old gym. My trainer at that time was Bob Shermer. You probably know him. He's a 2-time jiu-jitsu champion himself. And he's a great trainer. I love that guy. But I wanted to do my own stuff. So when I moved to Florida, when I found out I really couldn't compete anymore, I started training. That's when I went to open up my gym. I said, me and Shoney, we talked back and forth. We knew what I was doing. But yeah, matter of fact, he'll fight now if you could.
that kind of experience? I wondered if he was like trying to. He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that tells people what they maybe should or shouldn't do. But I was just wondering if he maybe tried to give you any kind of advice or anything like that.
Nah, not really. Once I got in there, I got in there. You know what I mean? And not really, not so much advice. He came to me to help get him some fights before.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I met him
But
on
other than
Oahu.
that,
I met him on Oahu probably, I want to say, late 1990s. I want to say maybe he was with the guy
yeah,
gas away.
he was a character. He was definitely a character.
He was the guy that Shawnee came to Super Brawl with. He passed away
Oh, okay.
kind of recently, I think last year.
Oh, wow.
But he
Okay.
was the guy that.
Well, he's responsible for getting me into MMA. I would say that because I was just kickboxing, and he was like, "Oh, good kickboxer, man. You need to do some cage fighting." But he didn't know that's what I always wanted to do anyway. I just couldn't because of my training. I was trying to be loyal to him.
Mhm.
So,
When you
but
started it
yeah,
out in 2001, like how many guys did you take on to manage?
and and what? Excuse me. What was
It was like
I didn't hear the
you
last
said,
one.
so 2011, right? You said 12 years.
Probably about 2010, maybe 2010.
How many guys did you take on at first?
At first, I just started at a gym, and then I just started I just went berserk with it, and just started, with my training and training guys. I got a unique training system, and we were just getting out there and winning everything. Like I said, my first year or two, I ended up winning Trainer of the Year, and it was a lot of people in that area, big trainers out there that I beat out. So, yeah, I think I did quite well during that time.
But how many guys did you manage?
I started off with. No, I started off. My first fighter was actually his name was Andre Wise, and he was a good jiu-jitsu guy, real strong, and he won a bunch of champions. He was like the first one. Matter of fact, he helped me put our name on the map. He was the first. So yeah, shout out to you, Mr. Andre Wise. You definitely gonna be remembered. So he's retired now.
Yeah, and I know you had
And,
when he was, starting out pretty early,
oh, who? Sony? Excuse me.
Lorenzo, huh?
And Lorenzo, I didn't train him. I just managed
Yeah.
him. Yeah. I used to watch him. I just see him fighting when he was fighting amateur, and he was badass. He'd lose some, but I liked his style. But his style was more of a boxing type style or whatever. And that's when I came to him. I listened. He had lost his last few MMA fights. Well, he was just ready to just give it up. I put him off the couch. I said, "Hey, let's do bare knuckle. That would be made for you." And as you see, it was.
Got a lot of success there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we didn't stick together, like I said, we had business differences or whatever, where,
Yeah.
I wasn't satisfied with it or whatever. So we, kind of mutually cut off from each other.
The common things.
Other than that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, I have, we ain't no bad feeling there or anything like that, He's still my guy.
Now, where was the that you started in Florida? Where's it located exactly?
I started my gym in Palm Bay, Florida. At the time, it's called MMA Fight Club.
Now, what is Palm Bay like?
Well, it's close. It's about a good half an hour from Orlando, and it's a little quiet area. I mean, you got a lot of MMA fans there. I was able to, make good there. But yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering,
This is
just
small.
the makeup of Florida. You got some different areas. I was just wondering what kind of the makeup of Palm.
It's a really nice area. I'll give you that. It's real nice.
There are a lot of fans there because there's just so many events happening in Florida, especially.
Yes, that's like the capital, MMA capital.
It seems that way.
Everything goes.
Yeah.
I mean, I got fighting all over the place, and it was the best luck we have is in Florida and whatever. So, because it's so many events, especially when that COVID crisis first came out,
Yep.
Florida was still moving. So yeah.
Yeah. So they kind of made themselves into the kind of like the Mecca because of the COVID thing,
Yes, that helped. They kept everything open. That's what it was. Everybody else was shutting down.
Right. I wanted to ask you, because you have a lot of guys. You have some that aren't with you in Florida, obviously. How do you work that?
Yeah. Well, I'm not in Florida now. I'm back in Chicago.
So you have guys that aren't in the same area you are. How do you work that?
They're all over. They all over the country. No, that's what Duel is about. We talk, we do video chats, and I have a group with everybody. We all chat together, So a lot of them get together and they train together during times, even in different areas. They meet somewhere, and like a big family. We just one big family.
Yeah.
That's how I try.
I'm just wondering, how can you? I just want to know how you work it, because I know other managers that did the same. Obviously, they had guys in different locations. But when you're trying to deal with getting guys fights, dealing with promoters, all the stuff, is it because you have guys in other areas instead of maybe just a handful in your area?
Well, that's why I deal with so many promoters, So I try to keep guys fighting towards the area, whatever. But yeah, I deal with so many, so it's really no problem. About that go. I never had problem fighting fights before. That's why they, people they stick with me.
Now your gym,
and I have really good relations just about most of all the promotions out there. So they had no problem hitting me up and trusting me with the fighters and whatever.
Now your gym in Palm Bay, is it? What trainers do you have there? Is it just you, or do you have other people?
Well, I don't have that there now since I moved or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a gym in Chicago, right?
Not yet. What I do I be training at a UFC facility. I got students here, but I haven't opened up a facility yet. But I'm steady training.
So you have a facility where they train at, but it's just not your facility yet.
Well, sometimes I go to the UFC, or then I have, I got my old gym. I mean, I always have places to go and train, keep my, take my students. But I am going to open up something, probably next year. I just got so much stuff I'm doing. I can't do it all at once. I want to get my show started, and my promotion back on, going as well. That's the first thing. And then from there, I probably open with it. Now, I just don't have as much time to do the training, being a full-time trainer like I was, because, you got kids involved and all that stuff. Now, I prefer to just work with the fighters, because I mean I would love to work with kids and stuff, but I just don't have the time for it.
Right.
So yeah, I had to limit that a little bit. That and the managing and promoting and all that stuff.
Now, I know you have a lot. You just mentioned how you have a lot of things you're dealing with. Maybe focus on one or two that you think might
Yes.
be interesting, or
Yes.
people that are interested in that you want to talk about, perhaps.
My management team. I mean, I'm trying to get some of the most talented fighters out there. I start with beginners. I start with amateurs because that's where it starts at. And I try to kind of make them into and increase their value too for when they do go pro. Try to get them as many championships as possible while they're down there and whatever. I'm not the type of manager that's just going to take anybody. I am not desperate at all. I got a lot of guys, a lot of talent, but I do need talented fighters. So I could get picky with fighters who's jumping on. Everybody got to go through a little interview. So therefore, I can even see where their heads at and what their real intentions are. And, that part is kind of easy. A lot of people start, I get recruits just on a daily basis. So, but like I said, everybody can't jump on. If I see something that is not right, I had to back off. I don't think this is going to work with us, But I'm always looking for talent. And most of the people that's on my team, it's really no complaints there. I mean, I don't see where I haven't had any complaint. I'm probably one of the only managers out there you don't see people posting stuff about, well, this guy did this manager done said this, he don't keep his promises. I keep all my promises. Or I don't make them. Everything I say, I'm going to get you this, I'm going to do this. I've done it. I've always been a guy of my word. So I try to keep it that way. That's why I get a lot of people coming towards me.
So, who do you have that maybe has a fight coming up soon that you might want to talk about?
You know what? There's a bunch of people got fights coming up soon, but it's not in writing yet. You know what I mean? So I don't really want to say. But let's see. Lorenzo Hood, he has something big coming, if you know him. I got a guy that you just interviewed, Tony Jackson. We just got him a good fight going on. He's doing a good kickboxing match with Plex coming up in New York. Also, along with him, it's going to be Braxton Smith, big heavyweight. I'm trying to get him more into the bare knuckle thing because he's huge and he got like 16 wins, 14 knockouts, and that was as an amateur. You know what I mean? So that's what he needs, where he needs to be. No, I don't think she was on the show. Alana Jones. She's one of my newer female fighters. Well, I've been working with her brother for a while, but she just jumped on because she's just not getting back into the scene of the sport. She done fought the likes of Holly Holmes, Fallon Fox, and she's badass. She's pretty tough. She fight guys, so I can't wait to get her back in there. Especially I think bare knuckle will be good for her because she'll knock you out. But MMA as well too. I know she's a good MMA fighter as well. So yeah, I got some good things going for her. Bobby Brents, he's a bare knuckle champion. Trying to get him. Well, we in work with getting him a fight at BKFC right now. But I don't want, he's a bare knuckle champion. I don't want him going in there fighting, starting with the scrubs. You know what I mean? When I send him there, I want him to fight somebody that got a name, because, he does his thing, with his hands. So I'm not worried about him. I got another guy, Kobe Bourne. We're working on a fight with him with CES. He's one of my better fighters as well, 5 strikers. He's from Barbados. He's like 2-0 and a Sana champion. And I got, a lot of hopes for him as well. And I mean, I'd be all day on here if I name everybody. So,
I was
but we do have a whole bunch of stuff coming on.
interested in what you were saying. Like some fighters, you're trying to maybe steer toward bare knuckle, and then maybe others you're trying to steer towards something else. Is that a decision you make with them, or is that just kind of something you tell them? Hey, I'm going to steer you this way.
Well, I look at it first. You know what I mean? I know their styles. I know what they're going to be good at. So if I feel that this is what they're going to be good at, that's what I'm going to bring. I'm going to bring that to them. Listen, you do good at bare knuckle because you're knocking everybody out, but maybe they're not good with the ground. So yeah, bare knuckle is good and they pay well. So at first when it came out, I was like, sketchy at that, and first it was done in the backyards and stuff like that. If people, I was getting the offer, hey, you got some fighters that want to fight that? I'm like, no, I don't want to be part of that, So, but when it got legal, and like Lorenzo Hunt was one of the first guys I had to go do it, and Leo Pla, and that's what I should have mentioned. I should have left him out because he's one of the pioneers in the sport too. And he got a bunch of championships as well. Matter of fact, he has a championship in Amsterdam, one not too long ago, kickboxing. And he's one of the top BKFC, BYB guys as well.
But do you ever?
So yeah, he got some stuff going too.
Do you ever have fighters? I don't know if I want to do bare knuckle. Do you ever have fighters that are like, yeah, I don't.
If they get like that, hey, they don't need to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel.
No, I never do. It's like everybody wants to do it. Yeah. It's like everybody wants to do it for some reason.
Oh, really?
Well, the money for one. Yeah. But yeah, I don't see. I want to get. Me, like I said, I was a really, really good fighter too, but I don't think bare knuckle would have been for me because I don't know. All the cutting, the bare knuckles, and go get lacerated and stuff. Like that.
But you never have any fighters that are
I'm a fan of it. Excuse me?
When you suggest it, do you ever have any fighters that are hesitant?
Yeah, I do. Maybe a couple. The pretty boys, they don't want to get their face messed up. But yeah, I haven't had a couple. And they probably don't need to either because they probably better, on the ground anyway, doing MMA. But for the most part, 90%, they're all for it. They ask me before I even come to them sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I think some people still kind of look at it as the early UFCs where they're a little, they think it's extreme, Even some fighters feel that way. So I was wondering if you had any that were hesitant to do it when you approached them.
Well, bare knuckle, just like you were saying, like UFC, have evolved big. Now you got really skilled fighters in bare knuckle. You know what I mean? First it's like somebody just want to bang, somebody could just bang or whatever, they just get out there or whatever. Now you got to be really skilled. You have to know how to box. Because you're getting all of these top boxers that's starting to turn to be everybody trying to go bare knuckle for some reason. So yeah, you got these guys coming in. You better be damn good,
right?
And be ready. So yeah, it's not for anybody. So no, I don't try to get everybody to do it.
Now you mentioned about pay. Do you feel like on average they're paying better than maybe the UFC, for example?
Yep. For starts, they first fighters, and I believe they are. Now, I have one fighter that had a contract with UFC. It wasn't too well, and especially what they want him to do as well. I don't want to mention it here right now, but what they're trying to do is crazy. So that's why I'm like, maybe we should go a different route than UFC. And I have like Triad FC calling me and stuff for this guy. So we're gonna probably try to go that route instead. UFC is not everything, people. It's a good, but like I said, they the first. But you can make money elsewhere if that's what you want to do. But no, maybe UFC is always gonna be the top dog, though. But yes, they need to stop paying more. I mean, if it got to this point where everybody's talking, and yes, you need to start paying some more money then, because soon people are going to be quitting, walking out, and getting into other promotions that's offering more money.
Yeah, I think we're going to see that with Ngannou, most likely.
Yes, and he's doing the right thing. I'm glad somebody just came out and just like, okay, this is what it's going to be. I need more money. We all need more money. That's what, if fighters could get together, but they're afraid just to get together, get some type of fighter union or something, things would change. Because the fighters is the ones that they're depending on. They're the ones that's making them that money. So if everybody was to get together, maybe something happen. Maybe pay account go up.
Yeah, it's an interesting time. I think, when the Fertittas kind of stepped back, Dana could always go to Lorenzo to kind of smooth things over behind the scenes with people that weren't happy, and not having those guys there now. I think it's showing that.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to have to sooner or later step it up. Step up the pay.
Yeah. I think.
There's too many people. It's out there now, and there's too many people talking about it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting time because what do you think about Triller? I mean, I know Triller's paying some guys. And you talked about the triad, because that's part of Triller, right? The triad fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, Triller. Triad is definitely part of Triller.
So I was wondering what you think about Triller's concept. Some of it I like, actually, but what do you think about what you...
Only thing I don't like about the triad thing, I know I love the concept of it, trust me, but I just think they didn't have to make it a triad. when you got the trigon, you know what I mean? And it's almost like, to me, like a ripoff. They could have made another, rectangle or something. You know what I mean? To other than to copy that, because they knew that was going to be trouble anyway. So, but other than that, I love the concept of it. They need, and what I heard they was going to do, start adding even more martial arts to it. I guess probably more or less stand up.
Mm.
And yeah, I can't wait for that one. But one thing for sure, they are going to pay.
Yeah, it's interesting because they are putting up money, so you're wondering, is it sustainable? But I mean,
it's funny how they making the money. Look at the events that they're doing. Yeah. They throwing. I mean, wow. But it's a good idea, I guess.
Yeah, anything that's different sometimes I think is good. Because you're not seeing the same.
Yeah.
Like I had.
Right.
The UFC is kind of like a Vegas show, You see it one week, next week. It's the same show.
Yes.
It's a magic show.
Yes.
And, so to have something different is, I think it's good most of the time to have something different. But,
yes.
I wonder what you thought about the triangle, That's a fighting space.
Yeah. Well, me, myself, I need some room if I was fighting. But yes, for some fighters, it's made to order for them.
Now, have you got any feedback from any fighters about the triangle?
They love it. They love it. Only one, and he didn't really want to do it anymore because he thought it was just too small and he couldn't. He wanted to fight, but it was like it was just too small. he couldn't move in it too much.
Take a breath, basically.
So I guess, yeah. But other than that, everybody love it. I don't get too many complaints about that.
Yeah.
And it's a great promotion. I mean, they fight it so well. More than most of the MMA promotions I've dealt with. Good, very good hospitality.
So you would prefer to have more fighters in Triller then?
I'm a businessman. I'm going with the money. Man, whatever's gonna make my fighters money, But my I can't say that, girl. All of them competing against each other. I'm just a businessman. Whoever's gonna give my fighters the opportunity, that's where I go. You know?
Yeah, but it's
You know.
treatment of the fighters, treatments of the managers. Sometimes you might some.
Yeah. Well, I haven't quite dealt with only talking with them, Triller yet. So I haven't really been there to see what type of hospitality, how they treat the fighters and stuff as of yet. That's coming, but I do know BKFC, they good too. They treat their fighters well. All of them good. All the bare knuckle is definitely good as far as hospitality and treating their fighters well.
The thing with
As far as my experience.
The thing with bare knuckle that I thought they kind of dropped was, when they had Paulie fight Artem Lope, they didn't really capitalize on it because they were the only event that day. A lot of people watched it because Paulie Malignaggi was going to do it, which I think surprised me. And I felt like
Yes, that's right.
they didn't capitalize on it after. I felt like they just let it go away. I thought.
Well, that's because Autumn, well, they're trying to build Autumn up to be the GOAT there. You know what I mean? The Autumn left. He left and retired. I guess they'll do it that way.
But I thought maybe they not bring Paulie back, or why not bring someone like him in?
Well, Paulie, he's on all the broadcasts now. Yeah. I guess that's I thought I heard him mention that he was gonna try to come back to do it again, but
because Triller kind of picked up on that. They're like, okay, the boxer in something that's different than boxing.
Yes.
Even bare knuckles, a little different than boxing.
Oh, it's a lot different. Yeah. It's a lot different.
I'm saying you're punching that is the same, but what I'm saying is when you have them in a different environment, it's interesting. If you have them in a triangle, it's interesting. If you have them fighting MMA guys, it's interesting. So I think Triller picked up on that. And I felt like bare knuckle didn't capitalize on having that Paulie Artem momentum as well as they could have, maybe.
Right. That's because I was, they need to get back to, well, I guess it's kind of played too a little bit, the MMA versus the boxers. I mean, they still doing it, but it's not like it was when Paulie and Autumn fought. But yeah.
For example,
it's like they're just trying to get boxers now, but
I know Shannon Briggs was interested. If they had maybe brought him in a few shows later, that probably would have got some attention.
Yeah, before Triad got him.
Right. Yeah. Had they been maybe bring someone else in who's kind of a big person,
he would have made a good. Yeah. He would have definitely made a good addition.
Yeah. So I kind of
to BKFC, and to me, BKFC needs some good heavyweights. I'm not too impressed with someone that's there. That's why I'm trying to get my guys to get it. I have a couple of heavyweights that's coming. And they're going to take over. Bobby Bench for one. And I have another guy, Braxton Smith. I was just speaking to him. Yeah, he's going to definitely make his mark once he get there. I have another guy, too, Azatullah Kakar. I don't know if you've seen him fight. His first fight at BKFC, I didn't want him to fight, to go and get a square up either. I wanted him to fight one of the top guys there. And at that time, at that weight class, the top guy there was Chris Serra. And he went in there, and I don't know if you've seen that fight. He did this thing with Chris Serra. So now, we need some more smoke for him. And because, he was like I said, a K1 champion, and he's undefeated in MMA. He's undefeated in everything. And they had to realize that, And, I mean, like I said, I think that would be a very good fight for Lorenzo Hunt, And I proposed that before, and I think in the near future we're going to try to make that happen.
Because he was one of your old fighters, or maybe, you had dealt with Lorenzo.
That would be a good story, too, you know what I mean?
Did he ever...
my new fighter against one of my old fighters.
Did he ever say anything to you about that, trying to set up a fight with him?
Well, I spoke with Isadora about it, say anything to Lorenzo about it. But, yeah, he's definitely game.
Yeah, he wouldn't care.
He's gonna shock every. He gonna just like that day when he shocked everybody that day. He's gonna shock everybody when that time comes. I mean, the reason I know him because I know both of them. You know what I mean? I know his background. I know what he's done. You know, and he's undefeated. He hasn't lost anything. So yes, that would be a big fight. That's why David Feldman and Nate Shook, you need to make that fight.
Now,
Okay, you know we
fair enough.
waiting.
Do you deal with Feldman or do you deal with Shook?
Both of them. I talk to David a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I want to get some big guys on there, I shoot it to David. But I like Nate. Nate's a real good guy.
He's not as Dana White, David. So you don't really see him.
He's hard to get a hold to at times, but you can, and you can. So, but yeah. Well, I think they know me and they know the talent that I got. So it's easy for me to get a hold of.
No, he's not a guy who's as vocal as Dana White. He doesn't put himself out there.
No, he's not.
He stays back in the.
Right.
I was wondering what you thought of him. Dealing with him. He's easy to deal with.
To me, there's people that says he's not, but ever since I've dealt with him, BKFC always been good with me. Always. So no, I can't really have to say anything bad. Just like BYB, I can't say anything bad about. Oh, I can, but there's nothing wrong with them at all. You know what I mean? Fight the promotion and everything is great. I love the promotion. Matter of fact, those are my guys. So I back them 100%.
How do you feel like watching? Because obviously you're involved with bare knuckle. Does it to you they're gaining?
Yes, and it's going to be more. All they doing is opening doors for other promotion. Matter of fact, that's what I'm thinking about myself. My next promotion, I want to mix it up, MMA and bare knuckle. But yeah, it's going to open doors for more, and it's more people are going to come out with it. It's going to give more people the opportunity to fight. Shoot, they might wipe boxing out because there's a lot of boxers that's trying to get off into it too.
Mm-hmm.
I had a really good boxer hit me up. Want to get to it? He's like 19-3. I'm like, why you want to do bare knuckle? You almost did. He wants, you want to do it.
Right.
So.
Well,
but yeah,
I could see why they might want to do it because it's not 10 rounds, 12 rounds.
Right.
Well,
and the money is always good.
It's like 3, right? 3 rounds?
3 to 5. Well, no, it's 5 rounds. It's, BYB and BKFC is different. BKFC does 2-minute rounds. BYB does 3-minute rounds.
Mm-hmm. But it's shorter fights, so maybe the boxers are like, I can get in here and do what I need to do, and it'll be over quick. Well,
it's good for if you're a really good boxer, I think they'll be a good fit for BKFC. If you one of those guys that just like the slug and close spaces, just to see who comes out the winner, it's BYB for you. You don't have too much room to move,
Right.
And that's why I had a guy, and this guy, he was undefeated in MMA, and I threw him in BYB and whatever. And one thing he said, he lost that fight, but one thing he noticed, he said, "Man, this is totally different from MMA. You got to have the endurance because it's nothing but constant throwing. So you have to have the endurance just to go all the rounds because there's really no breaks that you get. They coming out there to kill you. You get a little break in BKFC because, like I said, you got more room to move around. If you're a good fighter with good foot movement or whatever, you can stay away, rest up a little bit, do whatever. If that same fighter is in BYB, no, it's going to be a whole different story. He ain't going to have nowhere to move, and he might lose that one. So, yeah, it's two different, two different. It's a matter of the style. Different styles work for different promotions.
When you're talking about BYB, do you mean triad, or are you talking about something else?
No, BYB as in the one that at 5,000. Yes.
Oh.
the one with the trigon. They had it first.
Okay. So they both have the same fighting space.
That's what I'm saying. Triad. Only thing about Triad, they just like a ripoff of BYB. You
Okay.
know. But that's the only thing that I felt was, they should have did that. But it is what it is, I guess.
Is BYB more like a lower show than Bare Knuckle? I
wouldn't say that.
I haven't seen.
I wouldn't say that as a lower show, but let's just say I think BKFC just got on the move faster than they did. But now what they're doing now is, and then they're teaming up with BKB that's in the UK. They're doing things with them. Fights, combining the fighters and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And they're constantly going. They're throwing even more shows, and, you got fighter from BKFC that's trying to get over there. Then you got fighter from BYB trying to get over there, But it's a good thing, because all the fighters got to have a platform. They want to do bare knuckle. Then, like I said, I want to bring one out. You got there's one in New Mexico that just came out. And there's more that's coming. There's some in the UK that there's one called Spartan. Now, that's the only one I would say have a smaller cage than BYB. It's not a cage. It's like a pit. They throw them in there and they just go at it. Have you seen one of those?
No.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I watched everything. Now I don't watch everything anymore, but
Yeah, that's why me either, because it's a lot to watch. You can't watch everything. So I just had to focus in on what, mainly what I'm doing and what my guys is going for.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, there's a fight coming up in Triller with Chad Dawson and God, I'm trying to remember who he's fighting, an MMA guy, but I'm trying to remember who it was.
I think I heard that, but I can't remember the fight either.
Who was it that he's going to fight? Somebody who won their last fight, but I'm trying to remember who it was. Oh, man.
It wasn't Victor, was it? Belfort?
Yeah, I'm curious. What do you think is going to happen with Belfort and Dawson?
Well, I think Victor might get his ass whooped on that one. Unless he get a knockout. I don't even think if he didn't knock out Holyfield, I don't think he would have won that.
He was going to knock him out, don't you think?
If he didn't, he wouldn't have won. But yeah, I kind of that's what I looked at. If he was going to lose, he was going to get knocked out. Maybe because he didn't got too old or whatever. I don't know. I didn't want to see that. I wanted him to get out there and get a win for his old guys. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But shoot, if he would have won, I would have been talking about coming back. But yeah.
I'm kind of curious about the Dawson fight. I don't know how old. I know he's not as old as Holyfield, obviously, but he's not young either. Neither is Belfort necessarily. I'm curious what Dawson has, at this time.
Yeah, if he have anything left, yeah. Well, we were saying the same thing with Mike Tyson and Jones. They put on a really good show.
But, Belfort's not there to put on a show. He's going to try to kill Dawson. So kind of.
He's going to try to kill him, yeah.
So I'm interested.
That's what Belfort did.
If Dawson can hold him off, then, So I think that.
Dawson has good boxing. He has good boxing, and he can knock somebody out, too. So,
Yeah.
One thing Victor is not is when he was a boxer, I think he started boxing before he did MMA.
Right.
But he wasn't a boxer like Chad. Chad lived boxing. Mm-hmm. So I don't think if it goes, he had to knock him out. So Chad is better,
It's a good fight that I don't think people are talking much about.
Yeah. They're not promoting it like they should.
Well, I don't think the people that cover the sport are paying attention to it. I'm really curious about that match. The Dawson.
Yeah.
I don't think it has the curiosity of other people for whatever reason. I don't know why. But I think it's one more interesting fights that's coming up this year. And I don't know.
It's a lot of interesting things coming up. Yeah, that I can't wait for. Yeah.
So I was a little surprised that it's not getting any kind of. Another one I think that's interesting is kind of flying under the radar is Amazov. He's fighting Michael Page in Bellator. You
Mm, I like Michael Page. Yeah, he should get that one.
Well,
He should get that one.
Amosov is such a good wrestler. I mean, he's an amazing wrestler. So it's going to be an interesting fight because
Yeah, but MVP got amazing takedown defense. You know what I mean? And he don't get close enough to get taken. You don't see him down much.
Yeah.
You know, and he's fought a lot of wrestlers.
it's
So
going to
I believe he'll be able to do that.
be, yeah. What?
I used to speak with him before MVP was in Bellator. I used to speak. I tried to get him down here first. You know what I mean? But he had some guys working with him where he was at. So. But yeah, that's I'm a big fan of this because of my background. Yes.
Right. What are some fights that you're looking forward to? You said there's some fights that interest you that are
For UFC
or just in general.
I don't know. Oh, okay.
Just in general.
Well, I want to see if I want to see the outcome of what's going to happen with the Francis thing. Is he going to leave there and go to Triad? He said that they mentioned that they made an offer to him. Even Tyson Fury, you know, is he going to do that? That would be a great fight. He'd get whooped by Tyson Fury, of course, but that would be a great fight to see. It'd be real interesting.
I think he should fight Wilder.
I want to see what Jones going to do.
Yeah. I think he should fight Wilder and then Fury. Wilder's more up his alley, you know. Wilder's kind of like.
Nah, I don't think he could beat neither of them.
Or,
He better go straight to the top, just like he is. He's about MMA. He don't need to get in there and just start fighting. You know, it's not going to work out. The money's right there at the top. If he's getting that offer, take it. You know what I mean? The other would be risky. He's not going to beat Wilder. You know, so that would be out the door. But this makes an interesting fight. UFC champion versus
right.
boxing champion. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it would do a huge number on a pay-per-view, for sure.
It would, but not on him. Not even go Wilder first. Now, if Wilder had the belt, yeah. You know, but what's the use? You know you're not going to, I mean, it's not going to work. You'll never get the Fury if you go that route.
So you say Fury,
yeah.
let him get beat real bad and then retire, or what?
I think he wants, right now, he done did everything, especially as far as on the MMA. I think what he didn't do is get the payday that he wants. And that would get him the payday that he wants. You know, and then he might even, I don't think he's going to win that fight, but he might want to box again.
Right, that's what,
you know.
If you lose the fight badly, then what?
Yeah, retirement. He have enough money. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing else for him. I mean, take that off. That's just like McGregor challenging Mayweather. We knew he was going to lose that fight. But why fight somebody under that? He's not no boxer that's going to whoop his ass. Go for the money, you know? So, yeah, he made the right decision.
But I think in Ngannou's case, being a boxer was his dream. He ended up becoming UFC champion, but that's not what he left.
Yes.
It's not what he left.
Yes, it wasn't that much boxing where he was at, yeah.
Yeah, so in a way, I would think he's looking, well, maybe he is just looking for the payday, but I'm kind of wondering if he's looking to maybe try.
Well, you gotta look at you have to look at his last fight. You know what I mean? I thought that would be a good match against strikers. He didn't have a chance with Sarah on the feet.
Yeah.
Sarah was just piecing him up or whatever. Mm-hmm. Just think what Fury would do to him. You know what I mean? He get out there. He's not going to be able to do anything much. I mean, his defense not even all the way there yet. You know, all he is, I mean, he's good, but all he is a big punch. You know, and if he don't get that big punch in, he don't have a chance with these guys. Not in the boxing ring.
Yeah, I mean, I see your point. I'm just wondering if he's wanting to try and be in boxing for a little while, or if he just wants to
He wanted the payday. He wanted to go up to the top. That's what he was using UFC for. Because he know he make big there, it'll be easy to transition to boxing. You know? So, he's a smart guy, you know? I'm having a little bit more respect for him.
I thought he handled the situation really well, you know, given everything that happened. I thought he handled it like a professional, you know.
He did.
Even though the UFC didn't treat him that way, he handled it that way.
And being that he's going to open doors for the other fighters as well. They're going to get just like that. So, yeah, they need to start putting more money out. But he didn't even make $1 million for his fight. So, you know, he's a champion. So that's not a good thing. And a heavyweight champion at that. The baddest heavyweight champion that's been there for a while since, you know. What heavyweight that's been, you know, as dominant as that, you know what I mean, and scary? Haven't been. You know, he like that Tyson type in the heavyweight. So, and he's money for them. If I was them, give him what he wants. He's a big ass draw. He's a huge draw now. You know, even with this bullshit that's going on and back and forth with them, that even making even a bigger draw. You know what I mean? So yes, they need to either pay him or let him go.
Yeah, I think
that's just wasting.
He's decided to try this. Most fighters don't try it, you know. And so I think it's something that he decided to.
I mean, he ain't getting nearly as much money as, you know. To me, Stipe was a good fighter, but, you know, he wasn't no big draw. You know, Francis is a huge draw. So, but they paid Stipe much more.
Right.
Well, he was champion, so. But he'll get it. What I want to see him do is stick around to fight John Jones. That would be an interesting fight.
Do you think?
And a big money fight.
Jones would pursue it?
Well, he said he is. You know, that's what he said he wanted. He said he put a pose that he'll whoop both of their ass. Him and guys. You know. So I think he would do it though. John is not a dumb ass either. You know. I mean, he do some dumb shit things. You know what I mean? But he's not. You know. As far as that goes, he know what his plan is.
But he struggled with.
I think I don't think he's just not totally not fight. Just like he was offered the Stipe fight. I believe John could be Stipe. He should have took that fight. It was a big money fight, and then couldn't nobody deny him for nothing then.
Right.
You know, but I guess he's doing the straight to the top thing.
Yeah.
So
it'll be interesting to see because I think his last few opponents they weren't as good as the guys he's gonna fight, and he didn't look great against those guys.
And this guy bigger and taller and all that. So that's the thing. That's why I want to see how he handles that.
Yeah.
I know what he's gonna do. He ain't gonna strike with him. He's not gonna strike. This is when he's going back to his wrestling.
Yeah.
He may do a couple of kicks or whatever, but he ain't gonna sit there and try to strike with him.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I don't see him standing no time. He's going straight for the takedown.
Yeah.
But now he's saying Stipe got a little, you know, better on the ground. He got some good takedown defense too. And he's strong as hell. So he probably looking at him like, I don't know, you know. I might have to rethink some stuff.
Right.
So, but if he's going to stand there and strike him, that'd be the baddest move. Me as a trainer, I would not tell him to do that. Use your wrestling. That's what brought you to the plate.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the obvious thing. Whether he does it or not is another thing altogether.
Yeah.
I think he would, but
right.
Yeah.
No, he have to. He have to. Yeah. This guy bigger and taller, you know. Yeah. And probably got the same reach. John had that reach over everybody. Mm-hmm. He ain't gonna have as much reach over this guy. Mm-hmm. So, and he's taller. So what can he do but wrestle?
Yeah, I just think back to the fights, the last few fights he had, like with Dominic Reyes and some of these. Yeah. Those guys aren't as good as Francis Ngannou. They're not as good as Gane.
No.
And that's why.
And John was getting hit. He was getting hit by him.
Right.
It's not like he's the hardest person to hit either.
Right. So you know, these guys are bigger, stronger. It might be tougher.
Right. Yeah, he's. I still think that he may win that fight, but via submission,
Hmm.
because that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna try to get him down. He feel that Francis is not that good on the ground, but although he's learning and learning, by the time they fight, you don't tell him how he's gonna be like.
Hmm.
So that's why if you want to get in, you better get him now. He ain't gonna do it to get better and better and better. So everybody didn't know that he was training on it. They thought he was just like a one shoe pony, one style, one dimension. This is the last couple of fights show different. He do got some ground. He will go to the ground. He ain't scared to now. And that's make him more scarier.
Yeah, I'm interested to see it, just like you. It's just that there's no signed yet, so it's hard for me to get excited about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, as we're watching the interview, I wanted to ask you, people that are watching this, if you had anything you wanted to leave the interview with.
Yeah. I'm to let everybody know, and if there's some really good fighters out there and they want to really start getting into these big promotions, link up with me. You can find me here, or you can find me on Facebook, Daryl Hatchett, or MMA Fight Club, Management of Champions, and throw me a hit if you want your career to get a little better than what it is. If you got managers that ain't doing what they supposed to do, I mean, I don't know if Tony told you, I saved him from a bad manager, really bad. Had him just sitting on the line with no fights for 2 years, and 2 years is a lot of time. You know what I mean, for a young fighter. And he could tell you as many offers that I've been giving him since he's joined my team, and he's been with me less than a year. I'm getting offers damn near on a daily for him. The only reason he wasn't taking them lately is because his last fight he had a serious injury, so he had to get better. But now he has a fight coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So, but other than that, yes, I'm always collecting talent. If anybody out there they think they got what it takes to get up to the top, I can get you there. Give me a call. Shoot me a text or something, and maybe a video. Your records should be fairly decent. I don't want no 1 in 4 guys or whatever, because I don't know what I can do with you. But yeah, I'm definitely looking for talent.
All right, Daryl. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me again. It's hard to do this stuff without people that want to do it. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime.
And for any guys that, like Daryl said, if you're think you have what it would take, fight wise, to approach a manager, you can reach him here at Instagram, which you can see his profile in the upper left, and he can help you out.
And I don't back out of my promises. My promises are always legit. If I say I'm gonna do something, it's gonna get done.
All right, Daryl, it was great to talk to you, and I hope to catch up with you maybe after you have some fights for your guys and stuff.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
All right.
Yeah, I have more for you. Yeah,
I'll appreciate it for sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, have a good night. Take care.
Take care, everybody.
Appreciate it.
Bye.